came to understand that there was a vaccine, rotavirus vaccine, which is the cause of most diarrheal deaths. And it was I want the Gates Foundation, which has great people, great partnerships, to be able to go full speed ahead. You know, there will be other rich people alive and energetic, and they'll understand the geopolitics 20 years from now. They'll understand what AI has done or not done.
Why have you chosen to close the foundation rather than have it continue its work as your legacy?
Well, you know, the legacy I dream about is that when people see the word malaria, they go, what was that? You know, it's, I remember as a kid reading Dickens books, and they talked about consumption, and I had no idea what was consuming these people. You know, of course, that was tuberculosis, which, although it's gone in rich countries, it's still killing 1.3 million people a year. And so, you know, there is no goal that the Gates Foundation would have any particular legacy.
When I saw you in January, you had recently seen President Trump, and you told me that you were frankly quite impressed by the way in which he listened to what you were outlining to him. Have you spoken to him since January, when we've had the announcement of these cuts, and are you still somewhat impressed?
Well, I had a really good dinner with him December 27th, and then a short meeting on February 5th, where I said that what was going on with the USAID, you know, was way beyond any elimination of waste, you know, and even that case where the money to prevent children getting HIV in Mozambique was misconstrued as condoms for Hamas, you know, which just kind of shows how much thought the group that did that put into their work. So, you know, given what he said to me in the dinner, I'm very hopeful that we won't get this scale of HIV cut, that we'll get a continued commitment to Gavi for vaccines or polio. I admit there's budget pressures and there's other voices talking to him, but, you know, I think I'll get a chance to talk with him and the Congress. And, you know, if we were able to get to something like a, you know, 15 to 20% cut, then we can be smart about which things were the lowest impact, and it won't be a tragedy. We won't have to see that death number go up. With something like HIV, where you just abruptly cut off the medicines, very quickly people's viral load goes up. And not only does their health worsen, but they start to infect other people. And so, you know, we could literally, in the worst case, get back to the death level that we haven't seen for over a decade.
And when you talk about other voices in the ear of the president, I think you're probably referring to other tech billionaires. Have you been able to speak to Elon Musk, who hasn't hidden his, you know, very forceful thoughts around USAID? Have you been able to talk to him about where you're coming from on this?
Well, I think when it comes to knowledge of USAID, as brilliant as Elon is, I actually know more about it than he does. You know, I've been in Nigeria and met the people who work for USAID. I've been in DRC. These are heroic people. You know, probably other than the military, the most heroic people who work for the U.S. government. And, you know, the work they do makes a huge difference. You know, so his characterization of, you know, it's a criminal enterprise, or it's worms, or, you know, it belongs in the wood chipper, you know, I think was not based on having much data, just like the condoms for Hamas, or, you know, he said in a cabinet meeting that he'd accidentally cut off the Ebola prevention work, but put it back on. Well, that's not true. He canceled all the Ebola work. They're all fired. They're all gone. And so objectively, you know, I think the people who are there full-time, including the Congress, need to look at this. You know, we may not get every program back, but the benefit to the world, the United States, particularly, you know, for people who have religious values, I think is unarguable.